Hi friends, I'm back today to show you a beautiful fall wreath that I made. I had thrifted this grapevine wreath and it's actually a very large wreath, so I needed a lot of florals to really give it a full, beautiful look. I gathered some items that I had thrifted as well as a lot of florals from Hobby Lobby. I love their florals. I'm pretty picky about the florals that I use for wreaths. In my opinion, the key to a high-end looking wreath is your florals. You want them to be very realistic looking and durable. So I just love these little pumpkin picks and the blue velvet pumpkins. Perfect for this wreath. Next, I went through my florals and I cut them down to about the size that I would need. This particular one had these little green velvety stretchy leaves that did not look realistic in my opinion. So I took those off and then just pared it down to the size that I needed. And when I'm doing a wreath like this, I wanted there to be two sides that looked very similar, and then I fill in the middle with some other pieces, and you'll see that in a little bit. So I gathered two bunches of about the same amount of florals to use on either end of the grapevine wreath. Next, I got started on planning my wreath. I always plan out my wreaths before I glue anything. This just allows me to get a good idea for the spacing and how many florals I'm going to need for the wreath. I found with this one, because it was such a large wreath, I actually needed a lot more florals than I had planned on, and so I had to just keep adding and adding until I got a really nice full look for this wreath. So for this particular wreath, I'm only going to be covering about 3/4 of it with florals, and so I just started on one end, and for the ends I'm looking for kind of a wildflower look. I wanted it to be kind of free form, just very nature-esque, and I really wanted it to have a bit of a fan look to it. Look how pretty this section turned out. I just love how natural it looks. It goes really well with just the grapevine wreath itself, really nice and neutral. So once I'm done planning it, then I move on to gluing, and I have my hot glue gun all ready, and I just go piece by piece, putting plenty of glue at the bottom of the stem and making sure that it has multiple areas to grab onto in the grapevine as I go. It's tedious, but it's worth it. I will say that these little pieces of wheat, or whatever they were the hardest to apply to the wreath, and just a little tip, try to get things with a little bit sturdier stems, thicker stems, so it's easier to apply them. This wheat had really thin, really delicate stems, so it was hard to get them to attach. Once I had both sides fully attached, then it was time to move on to the middle of my wreath, my design. I started with these really cute wooden pumpkin picks. I got these from Hobby Lobby, love them. I've used them in several things because I just love them so much. And I started with those and planned where I wanted those to go, and then I started moving out with my other decor. I have some really cute velvet pumpkins, some cotton, all types of things to add into it. I actually asked over on Instagram whether or not pine cones are a fall decor item, what people think, or if it's just more of a winter thing. And the majority of people said that they would use pine cones in their fall wreath as well. So I added a few pine cones in there. I really like how that looks, just kind of adds to the whole nature theme of the wreath. Now it is all planned out, looking beautiful, and so now it is time to start attaching items. And I start with the biggest items, my pumpkins. They need a little extra anchoring, and so I use some floral wire and just attached them, kind of wrapped it around the stem of the pumpkins, that little pick piece, and the grapevine wreath. This just gives a little added security for those pieces since they're a little heavier. Once I got the majority of my florals added onto the wreath, I decided to give just a little bit more dimension. I kind of felt like the middle section was pretty tight, and so I wanted some things to just kind of pop out to fill it up some more. And so I added a little bit of sprigs of leaves and some of that wheat back in throughout the middle section. And here is how it turned out. I just love how this wreath looks. It's so full, so lush, so beautiful, perfect for fall. I love it. So let me know what you think, guys. Did you like this wreath? Are you going to be making your own fall wreath this year? I'd love to know. Happy fall, guys.